Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give a little update on some props and cuts. It's been about 3.5 weeks since I've done my last update. There's some exciting news and some not exciting news. I think that's what each of us kind of go through as we are kind of like watching and maintaining some of our propagations or just watching some of our cuttings grow. There's usually always some excitement, but in most cases there's not. So with that, let's kind of jump in and let's get started. I'm going to show you 6 to about 9 propagations and cuttings that I've been just kind of monitoring and maintaining here. First off, we will start with my painted lady. I think last time, I'll kind of link the video at the end, is last time I've kind of noted that originally when I got this cutting it had 2 full leaves which fell off in about, I would say, within a week, and from that I've been just kind of watching and seeing some new growth. So right here, I'll kind of pinpoint it so you can see right there, there is a shoot coming out, kind of like a new leaf right there. So I am excited. At least this cutting is still growing. It's not completely dead on me. So this one still has some hope. I'm still growing it in sphagnum moss. You can see there's probably some roots that are kind of still growing on the side, but I do try to keep it fairly moist, not to let it dry out completely. So that's number 1. Number 2 here, I do have my Philodendron Bueno. Buono? I can never pronounce this correctly. But this one's actually growing really well, and I'm super excited about it. I believe last time I showed this plant, it had 3 leaves on it. This was the first leaf. This one right here, this is the first leaf that came with the cutting. And since then, I've gotten a baby one, a second leaf, and now as you can see right there, a 3rd leaf is starting to come out. So I'm super excited, and this is doing really well for me. Okay, that's the update on that one. Now I'm going to jump into a mega fail. Mega fail! I forget if I showed this on the last video updates. I think I briefly did, but I did have a Philodendron 69686. I was really excited for this plant. This has been on my wish list for a while, and I found one in the marketplace. I paid $50 for this cutting, and I was super excited just to kind of get one at a fairly decent price. But now I have a mega fail. I'm just gonna hold this up. I don't have any words, right? It's been kind of slowly deteriorating on me, right? That was like kind of like the top part, and now as I look at the stem, it is completely toast. Completely toast. You cannot save this one. If I had, you know, as much fertilizer or kind of like nutrients or any kind of special magic powder, this one is completely dead. That is a huge bummer. So, Philodendron 69686, you are back on my wish list, and I will continue to find one in the local marketplace or just keep on shopping. So, mega fail. All right. This one I show part of my propagations. This is part of my pings that I've been propagating. So it's a carnivorous plant. It's not like my philodendrons here, but as you noticed, I'll just kind of point one out right there. Right, you can kind of see the propagation, the new leaf coming out. Super exciting. And then each of these tiny leaves also, they do have a tiny, how should I say it, tiny leaf coming in. So it started to have some new growth. I'm excited, but yet a little nervous. Like this one right there. It's really dark, so I don't know if that one's gonna survive, just because usually, you know, when the carnivorous plants over time, they start to deteriorate, and then they'll just kind of whittle away. So we'll see. I'll just keep on propping and see if it grows anything. Yep, I do see. Actually, now that I look at it, I'll just kind of hold it up right here. Right, you see like a little. Come on, let's focus here. Pull it back, but there is a little growth on there. So I'll just keep an eye on it. Okay. And then the last set of updates that I'm going to give, I have my little propagation box right here. What's cool is, I'm going to kind of hold it down. So this propagation box, it's a stir light container. This one fits perfectly into my IKEA shelf. Maybe I'll take a quick little video to kind of insert it in, but just to show you, it actually fits really perfect in there. So that's another reason why I like it a lot. I did have to shop and you know, look at dimensions just to see what will fit. All right, so two other cuttings I have that just kind of been sitting there. So this is a Bloody Mary, Philodendron Bloody Mary cut. Nothing has happened on this one, no growth or anything, so just continue to monitor and watch. Here we go, we have a Monstera Deliciosa. It's a cutting from one of my friends. Her mom had a huge plant, she chopped it up. It started to die on her, and I told her I'd propagate it. What I'm really hoping is that right here is like a little growth point, I believe. Or maybe it's just the way that the stem is, and I'm really hoping that slowly right here, and I'll have to put some more cloning paste on it, that it'll just kind of pop out and grow. If you notice, you're like, oh, why are the ends white and a little like, they look just white and kind of creamy? It's actually super glue. I super glued the ends and super glued kind of like the stems, because this was starting to rot on me, so I just wanted to seal it up, so then kind of give it a little bit more protection. Okay, and then from here I have some Rafa, doria, and this is what I can never pronounce. It's a tetrasperma, RT Mini Monstera. Let's see, these are actually doing really well. I see new growth all over it. So like, for example, this, look, that's pretty cool, right? It has a new growth, no roots or anything. It's just kind of just growing, which is great. I'll just keep it in there, keep it nice and moist. And then a few of the other cuttings, you can kind of see the juvenile leaves like coming up, right? They're nice light green compared to the mature leaves, so you can tell that there are definitely new growths. So it's doing really well. Here is the last one that I'm always super excited for. Here it is. This is a Thai Constellation, one of my plant friends in the neighborhood. She was having a lot of trouble with it, and it was starting to die on her, so she wanted me to kind of give it a try to see if I can revive it, and looky here. It is a full, let me see, it has a full little baby leaf on it. Look at that. It is so cool. It does have a new growth point. That's actually not, I mean, it's not like a new one, but it's still growing, which is great, right? So 2 ends. You can also see that at the end it's also creamy white, because I've also super glued it. Now, one area that I am still thinking, I'm not sure, this is where I'm not sure another growth point is going to come out. It's a good possibility, but I was a little nervous because right here had a lot of root rot. and I kind of had to like shave it down, kind of just wanted to stop the rot. But at the same time, I noticed right here at the tip, you can see I'll just hold it up here. Right here at the tip is another growth point. I believe it will turn into another growth point, but we will see. I do also have to kind of be careful because I have noticed that since I do have a fungus gnat infestation, a lot of fungus gnats in my office, I'm still slowly trying to kill them. When I looked at this, there were little worms all over the place. I was like, where did we get the worms? So I think that the fungus gnats, they hatch their eggs in here, and then all the larvae started to kind of grow and it's crawling all over the chunk here. So I have since then, this is completely new sphagnum moss, so I'm not just like letting it sit in there forever. So I have cleaned it out, I've done my due diligence, and I just kind of continue to monitor it. But here's a Thai Constellation, super excited. It's a full new leaf that has unfurled, and I would say I probably have had this for about 3 months. So super excited, right? So these are all the updates that I just wanted to give in this video. As you can see, most of my propagations are going fairly well, but there's definitely one that hasn't, my Philodendron 69686. And as I'm talking and I'm looking over to my right, there is one last one and I completely forgot about it. So let me just kind of jump on that really quick, because this one is a little story here. I'm just gonna slide it in. This is another Philodendron. So I believe this is it says a Philodendron minarum lime fiddle. I actually bought this one because it actually just said it was a golden dragon, so a Philodendron golden dragon, kind of like a more generic name to it, a more plant-friendly name. And I got a little excited because I was like, oh, it's my first, probably this is the first expensive plant that I've bought. And what is expensive to me, because I am a new hobbyist, I'm leaving like the price tag on here, and you can see it. It was 188 bucks for this plant. So I've bought this, and when I bought this, it had 8 leaves on there. These 3 main stems were on here, and then there was about another 5 smaller stems. After the second or third day, those smaller stems, they got yellow and fell off. I was in shock. I didn't know like what to do. I was like, oh my God, did I completely just buy a super expensive plant? At least for me, right? I'm a new hobbyist. And then it just completely died on me, because I've done that in the past, right? You kind of make an impulse purchase. You don't realize what happens and what it takes, and stuff happens. So I did get super sad about this, but now I am optimistic because since then you can kind of tell, right? There is a new leaf that has come out and it's starting to like unfurl. So that makes me happy. Yep. And this is definitely a plant that I am continually keeping an eye on, making sure that it has enough, it's enough moisture, able to grow. And I can tell, right, my top, it's a little dry, and in the bottom I can tell, so I got to give it a nice little water. But I totally forgot about mentioning this plant to you guys. Yep. So if you do buy an expensive plant, keep the price tag on it. It's always a reminder to make sure you take care of your plants, or at least maybe that's the type of person that I am. So just wanted to share that with you. So now I am completely done with showing my plants. I didn't forget any. So thank you again for watching my video. I appreciate it. And until the next time, all right, please like, subscribe, make a comment and share, and I'll talk to you again.